Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Ronda Cobb, the money coach. Today's show, we're going to do something a little bit different. Normally, I give this information in a live seminar, and people come together and they listen to it. It's really fun because I get to meet people face to face. But a lot of people are in places where they just cannot get to a live event. So when I talk about the secrets of home ownership preparation in a live event, a lot of people can't get there because they can't get a babysitter, or it's on a day they have to work that evening, or whatever. So we're going to give it to you now, and we'll have it in a format that we can play again and again, and you can listen and you can share it with your friends. Now, in a live seminar, if you want to book one, you also have access to a realtor. I usually bring one of those because we're talking about, getting a house, a mortgage loan originator, and sometimes other industry professionals. They team up with me to be on hand so that you get answers to each individual question from an expert. So watch for announcements for when the next live performance will be there. But then they're usually free, and sometimes we have refreshments. The only thing we haven't figured out yet is childcare. So, ergo, that's why we're doing the show. Now, if you've been watching the market or actively shopping for a new home, you know that the real estate market is moving at a pretty fast pace these days. And that's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's good if you're fully prepared to jump in with both feet and you're ready to rock and roll. Like, oh, I love this house. Let me write an offer. That's jumping in with both feet. You need to be about that ready. Um, but it's not quite as good if you're the least bit unprepared. So, ta da! I'm here to help you make sure you are prepared. And that is what I mean by mortgage success. So if you see that thing in something, on Facebook or LinkedIn, it says mortgage success, that's what I mean. Be prepared. And besides, on Facebook, the huge overseer these days, they banned my ads for saying mortgage pre approval. It's a technical term in the industry, but they said it denoted discrimination. I beg to differ, but they still banned my ad. So before I start, let me say this is original material. I wrote it for a seminar, and it's not meant to be copied or plagiarized. So, people that are doing that, I'm not happy to see it when it's done. Just so you know, I saw you. But it is meant to help you manage your finances and to get a house if that is your goal. So let's start at the beginning. Here we go. First and foremost, you want to remember it's sort of like a chess game. And in this chess game, the king piece, the tallest one with the crown on his head, is cash. Cash is king, so protect your income stream, or streams, as the case may be. During the entire home buying or selling process, you do not want to have any interruptions in your cash flow. This is not the time to change jobs or add a new business to your life. It's also in life, this part of life, you want to protect your cash flow. You want to remember that protecting your income by being properly insured is, in my mind, the number one single most important insurance. So if you missed that show where we talked about that, call me and I'll tell you about it. Remember my phone number? 419-442-1935. But the king of the whole program, cash. The next chess piece, of course, is the queen. She sits next to the king, and she's the one that can move anywhere on the board in any direction, right? Well, in this context, the queen is cash management. It's not only how much you make, it's what you do with it when you bring it home. Cash management protects your goals, your home, and your life. It has a budget and the discipline to follow it most of the time. And in preparing to buy a home, a budget is crucial. It helps you know how much house payment you can afford. It accounts for taxes, insurance, and maintenance on the house. It also helps you save up prior to the purchase. So obviously, this queen that can move in any direction, yes, indeedy, is cash management. The next piece is the bishop. The bishop denotes a powerful position, and in this instance, it is very powerful. It represents time management. You cannot recover lost time and or lost opportunity. So you need to make a daily schedule. List the most important things that you are going to do that day. Do those first. Tuck the rest of the junk activities around the priorities. If your boss says to you, I need this by 5 o'clock, don't wait until 4:59 to open it up and see what they need. Open it up and see what they need at 9:15 when they give it to you. Knock it out, set it aside, go back at 3 o'clock, proofread it, and then send it on to them. Done. You're a rock star, and they're going to love you for it. Everything else is that way too. So if you're not getting the most important priorities done, it's going to be very difficult to complete all the tasks that you're saving for or searching for. And it's going to be really difficult to complete the task of buying, selling, or owning a home. If you put off saving, then that delays your opportunity and it affects your budget, it affects your pre approval, it affects everything. So you see how your time management is a power player not only in your career, but it's also a power player in the game of money, in our chess game that we're talking about today. The next piece in the game is the night. And for us, the night is long-term savings, capitalization, and tax management. Now, this sounds like a lot of responsibility for one little horse, but believe me, he can manage it. He's big and strong. We did a show about long-term wealth building benefits of home ownership. Remember, it wasn't that long ago. But you also need to have long-term savings in a tax-advantaged account vehicle, long-term savings in a regular vehicle, and you need to capitalize on any retirement planning strategy that's available to you. And enough cannot be said about the proper care and handling of your tax responsibility. You not only need to pay what you owe, but don't forget to file. I can't tell you how many people I've met with in this year alone that haven't filed because they listen to somebody say, oh, you're an entrepreneur, your business is just a hobby, you don't need to file. Believe me when I tell you that's not the way the IRS sees it. Believe me, do not get caught in that web of lies. If you made a profit in your small little business, I don't care if you worked it from a closet in your house, if you made a profit, they expect you to file a tax return. If you don't believe me, call them and ask. I'm not kidding. But I only want you to pay what you owe. I don't want you to forget to file, but I also want you to deduct everything you're eligible for. And if you fail to file and you wait and then you try to take all these deductions, yeah, you guessed it. They're going to look at that with a magnifying glass. So just be a knight. Be prepared. Save for your retirement. Manage your taxes. Be on top of it. And if you don't have time or ability or you just don't like it, get somebody to do it for you that does. All right. The next piece is the rook. He's the one that looks like a little big castle, you know. The rook represents a paid-for home and a good retirement savings plan. What? We're talking about the secrets to buying a house. What's this paid-for stuff, right? But get a grip. Imagine that you've got a grip on this game here and you're heading into retirement with a house you own and a nest egg. Now, unless Congress steals it from us, this is a great position to be in. I have watched retired people for many years now, and those that are having the most fun and they're vibrant and they're healthy, they all did the exact same things. They managed their money carefully. So what was that? That's the queen, right? They worked. They protected what? The king. They had cash flow. They worked. They had goals. They followed a plan. And they owned a home. They stayed in it till it was paid for. And those that didn't use an advisor or rented consistently, didn't follow a plan or a budget, or indulged in difficult health-bearing decisions or habits, are just not bearing as well. Which one do you want to be? All right? Do you want to have a plan or do you want to be a struggling retiree? So let's be a rook. Let's plan ahead. Let's set our goals. And they need to be your goals. Don't let them be my goals. You may have a totally different outlook on what retirement's going to be. You might be going to go join the Peace Corps. Hallelujah, go do it. But let's plan ahead so that we end up with the results that we want. Now, the next piece in this game is the pawn. And big corporations and big banks, they want you to be a pawn, and it's not good. I don't want you to be a pawn. They try to entice you with advertising that tells you how wonderful they are. But if they were that wonderful, would they have to spend billions on advertising? And I'm telling you, not all banks are predators. They're not all bad. But be very, very careful. Don't be a pawn. When you're shopping for loans and terms and savings account, you want to be a careful consumer, not a pawn. Okay? Don't want to be a pawn to those that purport to hold the keys to your future. Put the keys to your future in your own hand or your own pocket and keep them there. Then you'll know where they are, won't you? Overpaying, overspending, or following the crowd to gather up things that you cannot afford and may not need and don't use regularly, that might not be in your plan for your future, but it will definitely lead you to being quite poor. So you don't want to be a pawn of the system, and you don't want to turn out being that other P word. It's a very old-fashioned word, pauper. Pauper means poor, okay? So use the system to get what fits your plan and your needs, but be very careful. Be an informed consumer. So you're accustomed to me offering you advice and solutions, and today, of course, it is no different. I've been helping people just like you find solutions to money issues, both business and personal, since, I don't know, 2006 or so. And I'd like to help you solve your money problems. And I want to take you from tenant to owner if that's your goal, and certainly from broke to set, because we all know how good it feels to sit back and go, oh, thank God I solved so many of these money headaches. I don't have a headache anymore. I'm ready to rock and roll on my plan for my life. Let me ask you something. I asked this at the live seminars too. If your rent is $900 a month, okay, in some markets that's hilarious, I know. But anyway, if your rent is $900 a month, would you be able to afford a $600 or $700 per month mortgage payment? Anybody? Everybody? Okay. Most people say yes. And I say, will that help you save money? And they say, yes, again. Guess what? No, it won't. Not that alone. Because in order to move from broke to set or from tenant to owner, you need to master a new habit or a money attitude. And this is where a good mentor or coach comes along. Bum, 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 bum. I think you probably know one of those, right?